Welcome back, my magical star beings. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what was their first impression of you. So, in terms of your pile selection, you can choose your pile based off this person's zodiac, or you can choose the pile you're most drawn to. So, for pile 1, we have Agate with the Knight of Swords. For pile 2, we have Amazonite with the King of Swords. And for pile 3, we have Tiger's Eye with the Six of Swords. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below. If you'd like to support the channel by watching the sponsored segments of the video, I would appreciate it, but then I will see you at your reading. I'll try to be as accurate as I can, but it is a bit tricky when reading for the collective. If you want something more personal, you can always check in with the psychic for a more in-depth description. Speaking of which, I tried a clairvoyant from Psychic Source, and yes, they're sponsoring today's video. Thank you, Psychic Source. I got matched with a clairvoyant through their site, and honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be that accurate. I gave her no personal info, just asked about my future love life, and somehow she instantly picked up that I'm already in a relationship. She literally said, "Why are you asking about the future without mentioning him?" I was literally speechless, but then I remembered that's kind of what I do too. Still a shocking experience to be on the receiving end of it. She described my future partner as someone who makes me really happy, with great communication and bond that can handle anything. But the part that really stuck with me, she said she saw my future husband giving me purple flowers. A few weeks later, nothing happened, so I kind of forgot about it. Then we saw a tattoo promo on Instagram. My boyfriend sent me his ideas so I can book, and boom, a purple flower. Not a bouquet, but I'm definitely taking that as a sign. You can chat with gifted advisors however you're most comfortable, phone, video, or even text. Setting up my account on their website was super easy, and they have this quick little quiz that helps you find a psychic based on what you're looking for, whether it's love, past lives, energy readings, whatever. It made the whole process really personal and intentional. What sets them apart is the level of care and integrity. Only 2% of their applicants actually become advisors, so you know you're speaking to someone who's truly gifted and held to high ethical standards. And they back everything up with a no-risk guarantee. If you're not happy with your last paid reading, it's free. For a limited time, you can use my code Siren at psychicsource.com when checking out, or you can just click the link in my description box below at trypsychicsource.com/siren. You'll get up to 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. You don't have to use it all in one session. You can spread those minutes out across multiple advisors to see who you truly resonate with. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity at no extra cost to you. Oh, and yes, I do get paid for this promo, so when you sign up with Psychic Source, you're feeding a perpetually hungry, slightly dramatic psychic, that'd be me, and funding my next impulsive crystal purchase. As you can see, the channel needs some new crystals, but that's all for now. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. Pile 1, you chose the agate crystal and the Knight of Swords. We're going to be taking a look at what was their first impression of you. This can be for any person on your mind at all, so you can keep that in mind while I shuffle your cards. So spirit guides of pile 1, please tap me into the energy of the person on pile 1's mind. Please show me what was their first impression of my pile 1's. What was their first impression of my pile 1's? For some reason, I'm seeing that rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland came up in another reading, like, not so long ago. So it's interesting, but I don't know if you've seen that, like, trend on TikTok or Instagram where they talk about the white bunny rabbit thing, and it's, like, with the clock, and that basically means that, like, someone's not going to be in your life for a long time, like, they're just gonna kind of leave or something. So the Ace of Pentacles, maybe this person thought that you were always like bound to leave them, that you wouldn't stay in their life for a long time. So Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Swords reversed, the Nine of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Three of Cups. So I'm seeing the jellyfish in my mind's eye. So I'm looking at the spiritual meaning of it, and it says adaptability, fluidity, resilience, representing the ability to go with life's flow. It also signifies intuition, transparency, and the subconscious mind, with its transparent body suggesting honesty and grace. Additionally, jellyfish can also be a symbol of mystery, change, and impermanence, while sometimes venomous nature can serve as a warning or reminder to be resilient in the face of hardship. So maybe that's significant in some way. Someone could have met this person at like some kind of birthday event or something, because I'm seeing like a birthday cake with like those candles on top where it like says the person's age. I'm specifically seeing 25, but that doesn't have to matter. Of course, that won't be for everybody, but maybe for somebody here. I'm seeing them notice like your claw clip that you're wearing if you wear claw clips. I'm seeing them also like notice your eyelashes are quite long, regardless of if it's natural or not. I'm just seeing like longer eyelashes in my mind's eye. I'm also seeing a generosity, a kind of like politeness, kindness. You almost being very hospitable. I don't know how to say that word, but I'm even seeing you like offer food to them in some way, or bring food to them for someone. I feel like at first this person was like a little bit suspicious of you, like, why are you being so nice to me? I just met you. And they were kind of suspicious about it, like wondering if you almost seem too good to be true to them. And they're kind of like looking at you, trying to figure you out, trying to figure out if this is real, if you're always like this, or if they're just thinking that. But I feel like this person had trust issues when they first met you. I don't know if they still deal with it now, but that's what I see. They also noticed your hair. I'm seeing like specifically long hair in this pile. I see them like wondering what your hair feels like, if it's very soft. I don't know why, but like I see them like wanting to run their fingers through your hair or brush your hair. Not that your hair is unbrushed in the moment, because I see them like noticing how long it is and how pretty it is, but it's kind of like maybe your hair's so pretty that I don't know, it's a little bit weird to want to like touch somebody's hair in a first meeting, but I just see that intuitively. I'm seeing my aunt's energy here, and I don't think this person would have anything to do with that. I don't think it has anything to do with the reading, but I feel like she's around you and she's protecting you in some way. Maybe you have like an interest in Egyptian mythology or something for some. This person also noticed the makeup you're wearing. Like they thought the makeup on you looks very good. If you were wearing makeup the first day you met this person. I'm feeling majority feminine energy from this pile, but even if you're a man, or even if you don't wear makeup, just take what resonates here. They assumed that you were popular in school, or that you're popular now. They also thought that you're very cool and that you've probably achieved a lot, but that you don't necessarily care about achievements too much. They saw you as someone that is methodical, perfectionistic, strategic. Everything must be done to the T in a very perfectionistic way. They also thought that you're very polite with manners. They also thought that you come across as somebody that takes a lot of importance in physical hygiene, but also having a clean environment around you. They kind of imagine that your home would be spotless in some way, or just very tidy and clean. I'm seeing that one character in my mind's eye from Finding Nemo. I just don't know what the character's name is. Let me Google it quick. It was Gil. So I'm just seeing what his personality, I think it's a he, personality's like, so I can just read into why I'm seeing this. Okay, Gil from Finding Nemo is a determined and tough, but also caring, wise fish who serves as the leader of the tank gang. He is mysterious and intelligent, but beneath the hardened exterior is a deep desire to return to the ocean and a soft spot for Nemo, whom he sees as his surrogate son. His personality is a result of numerous failed escape attempts that left him with a damaged fin and rebellious spirit. So maybe you relate to some of that, of course, like not trying to escape. Maybe there's something you're trying to escape from, I guess, like a memory or something. They thought of you as someone that was probably very ambitious. They think that you're somebody that kind of like goes after opportunities that are in front of you, and you always want to take action to bettering your life and your financial state. I also see this energy of them thinking that you would be a great friend. I see them feeling very nosy, but also curious and like wanting to know everything about you, possibly seeing you as mysterious in the first meeting, almost like they can't read you or your intentions. And I think they were kind of paranoid about whether you had good intentions or not. I see them like worrying a lot about whether this is going to lead to a friendship or not, to something more, or if this meeting is just going to end here. Because I do think they wanted to be close to you in the first meeting. I see them like watching you after on social media, but I also see them observing you heavily. They assume that you worked a really good job. I'm seeing Libra energy in my mind's eye. I'm also seeing somebody that's a very girly girl. I'm seeing like lots of bows everywhere. I'm also seeing good dental hygiene, like nice teeth. Someone that maybe has like whiter teeth. They also saw you as somebody that's very intelligent in the first meeting, and your intelligence impressed them in some way. They saw you as somebody that wasn't necessarily opening up to them, but was polite and kind, but distant in a way. It's like they wanted to get you to open up, but there was like many failed attempts in the first meeting. In the first meeting, they saw you as somebody that's like chilled, laid back, relaxed. And they kind of saw you as somebody that maybe loves your sleep, won't sacrifice your sleep. They saw you as somebody that can be ambitious, but can also give yourself like time to rest or time to have a social life. They saw you as somebody that doesn't really brag or gossip. Like someone that's like loyal to your friends even behind their back. You won't gossip about your friends or even people you know and respect. I think they were kind of like worried about what you thought of them, whether you had a positive view of them or not, or whether you liked them or not. They felt like very insecure in the first meeting because of that, like wondering whether you liked them or not. They saw you as somebody that doesn't waste your time either. You like to do things in an efficient amount of time and not waste your time. I see them wondering, like, are you from here? Were you born here? Like the country or city you're in when you met them. Like wondering where you're from. I'm not sure why. We have the 5 of Wands reverse and we have the 9 of Cups reverse. I see this energy as like protectiveness over belongings, not letting people borrow your belongings. They kind of imagined you to be that kind of person. They kind of imagined you as someone that's kind of very passive, but like when it comes to your own things, you don't like a lot of drama. You don't like to stir the pot or anything like that or step on anybody's toes. In fact, maybe you try to be like very friendly so that you don't come across that way. even when you have an issue with somebody, you try to like avoid conflict with the Five of Wands reverse. But there's also this energy of like, when it comes to people you're close to, you will fight for them, you'll defend them. So maybe you don't like being in drama, but if somebody messes with a close loved one, you're definitely gonna say something and stand up for them in some way. We have the Fool showing up reverse, and we have the Ace of Swords showing up reverse. This person was kind of confused by you, didn't know how to read you. They saw you as kind of guarded with the Seven of Wands not reverse, at the back of the deck. And I think they wanted to get to know you more. They also saw you as somebody that could be quite emotional. They assume that you are. And they also assume that you have dogs or animals, like pets. I'm seeing like somebody that kind of looks like a doll. So maybe they thought you looked doll-like in a way. Their first reaction was fast and intense. Maybe they didn't really give you a chance to kind of like, not necessarily introduce yourself, because they did like obviously let you introduce yourself, but it's more like judging you very fast in a way. Like, I don't think that they judged you, but for a lack of a better term, I'm seeing that kind of energy of like, I'm coming to a conclusion fast about you. Like, does that make sense? I feel like you caught them off guard. They saw you as sharp, confident, bold, and mentally quick. Maybe even a little bit witty. They saw you as somebody that made a strong impact on them immediately, even if you didn't like know them very well. They kind of thought that you changed something in the way they saw things. They noticed your presence, not just your looks, but they also did notice things they liked about your looks that I mentioned before. They saw potential in you right away, like, I want to be friends with them, or I want to be close to them, saying, wow, there's something here. They thought that you were valuable, stable, grounded, that you had something fresh and promising about you. They wondered, like, what you were thinking in the moment. Maybe they were a little bit intimidated by you because you didn't give away much. Something about you made them anxious or self-conscious. Not that you did anything wrong, but you triggered nervousness, insecurity, and overthinking. They almost felt out of control emotionally. And you may have made them feel like they weren't good enough or like they needed to impress you, but I don't think you did it purposefully. They thought that you were friendly, fun, and socially appealing. You were warm, friendly, charming, and you seemed to have a good energy, someone they could easily like. Even if you were quiet, they assumed that you'd be enjoyable to be around. I see this energy of them thinking you're sweet, genuinely kind, and emotionally soft under the surface. Maybe for some there was like a crush energy here. If not, that's okay. We also see this energy of like an immediate spark, or this feeling of like, I want to be affectionate with you, I admire you. They saw you as cute but deep. There's almost like this feeling of, I want to fight for your attention but don't want to seem too eager. There's just something about you also seeming like you know what you want and you know what you don't want. And something about that is appealing to them. You kind of just seem innocent in a way, but not naive. And I keep seeing that they were kind of confused on what to think of you. They wanted to give you a chance, even though they made a quick judgment, but they were still like kind of confused on how to see you. Like, still feeling like they need to get to know you better to come to a conclusion fully on you. Maybe they also felt unsure of how to talk to you, felt a little bit intimidated by you, not being able to find the right words, not knowing what to say or what conversations to start, not wanting to say the wrong thing either. There was a lot of overthinking here, and maybe they just seemed a lot more quiet or reserved because of that, like not knowing what to say to you. They saw you as somebody that knows your worth, that won't accept anything that's less of what you want, and they wondered if you want them around or not, because they were afraid of you being, you seeing them as like undesirable in some way, or like not wanting to be around them. They saw you as somebody that is serious, mature, cautious, experienced, and not somebody that jumps blindly into things. There's kind of like this energy of you think before you do. Sometimes you can be a little bit impulsive, they thought, but you don't seem like you just jump blindly into things. They saw you as like the best of the best to be around, and almost like a high quality kind of person to have around them. And there was like this immediate recognition of like, I want to be around them, or want to be their friend, or want to be close to them. Maybe they thought you also looked familiar in some way, like they recognized you from somewhere before. They also assume that you're not a materialistic person. So that is all I'm getting for this section of the reading. Let's now pull some zodiacs and initials. I'm hoping to get yours or theirs. I'm also seeing Hello Kitty in my mind's eye. Maybe somebody likes that here. I'm also seeing like a nonchalance, a coolness about you. You don't seem like you're trying too hard. And they wondered if they came across like that. They wondered if they made a good impression too, if you liked them or not. I keep getting that energetically. They kind of saw you as like someone they could be best friends with, but they didn't want to come on too strong. So we have Capricorn. We have Cancer. Maybe there was this opposites attract energy with Capricorn and Cancer. Like they felt like they're very different from you, but you guys could get along. Pisces. Leo. There was some kind of uncomfortable truth they realized. I don't know what that was. Taurus. I just heard uncomfortable truth. And Sagittarius. Okay, then for initials, we have P. A. Maybe somebody's a PA. We have W. E. J. X. They also saw you as somebody that would genuinely be happy for other people's wins and not be envious. XV. U. A. O. E. C. Like in my mind's eye, I'm seeing you like cheer on another person when they get like some kind of award or go on stage. In my mind's eye, I'm seeing that. So I guess that just represents you being happy for others. E, C, G, D, B, O, and T. There's also something about someone having like a raspier voice. Okay, so that is where I'm going to leave your reading. I do hope this reading resonated with you. Please let me know how this resonated down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you like my readings and you want to see more exclusive content of mine, I do have a membership where I post weekly. So thank you for being here and watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 2, you chose the Amazonite crystal and the King of Swords. So we're going to be taking a look at this person's first impression of you. This can be for any person on your mind at all, and you can keep them in mind while I shuffle your cards. So what I am seeing immediately in the energy for you, Pile 2, is that this person's first impression of you was altered because of, I don't know whether to call it gossip, but they heard some things about you from another person, especially if you met this person through like other people, or if they just knew of you before like formally meeting you. Maybe they heard some things about you from different people, and that kind of like didn't give them this clear perspective of you. Now, what was said about you might be true. I'm not sure what was said about you actually, but what I can tell you is that there was no like clear canvas for them to like form their own opinion. Their opinion of you was based off what other people said, whether good or bad. But let's see what comes up in the cards. So, Spirit Guides of pile 2. Please tap me into this person's energy, the person on their mind. Please show me what was their first impression of pile 2. We have the 5 of Wands reverse. We have the Ace of Swords reverse. Okay, the Ace of Swords tells me when it's coming up reverse, when we spoke about like somebody gossiping, someone said some kind of like lie about you or twisted the truth. And it kind of confused this person because when they met you, what I'm seeing here is someone badmouthed you, right? And was very passive aggressive. They didn't want to say whatever they had to say to your face, and they said it behind your back. But when this person met you, it's like you came across as like opposite of what that person said. And they were so confused by it. They were like, is this person, pile 2, just putting up a front? Did that person lie to me? Is pile 2 lying, putting on a false image to seem a certain way? Like, I don't get it. Pile 2 doesn't seem like what this person said at all. Pile 2 is so nice to me. Pile 2 is not at all like mean or rude or anything like that. I don't understand why they see pile 2 this way and why they're speaking about pile 2 this way, because pile 2 seems so nice. There's that kind of energy coming through here. And I feel like the person that did speak about you has a lot of insecurities, so maybe that could tell you a little bit into why. We have the 2 of Swords reverse and then the 4 of Swords reverse at the back of the deck. So again, I'm not sure what was actually said about you, but it seems to be a lie of some sort, or just something that was twisted to fit their narrative. I feel like this person maybe didn't let that gossip influence their perception of you. They kind of like wanted to clearly look at the situation with you and clearly look at your behavior and form their own opinion, even though their opinion was kind of like one way at first, and then when they met you, it was a different way. It changed. I feel like with the 2 of Swords reverse, they were kind of like indecisive about what to think of you. They didn't know whether to believe this person or whether to make up their own, form their own narrative or opinion. It's like they were kind of like stuck in the middle, not knowing what to think. They saw you as somebody that probably is both emotional and logical and kind of like in the middle there. They saw you as somebody that is possibly very intelligent, focused, and I'm hearing self-focused. And then I'm seeing this energy of you not like to be in drama, you not liking to cause problems, you just seeming like you're not necessarily hiding anything bad. I also see this energy of them just not knowing what to say in the first meeting, in the sense of, I don't know if I should tell pile 2 what this other person said about them, or if I should just keep it to myself. I also feel for some of you, this other person that spoke about you could have been jealous in a way, not wanting this person to get close to you, and maybe that's why they said those things. They assume that you have a hot-headed side to you, but that you don't take it out on others, that minor inconveniences annoy you. I'm also seeing this energy of somebody that seems kind of pure in nature, but we wonder like whether we should trust how they're portraying themselves or not. Like, They kept wondering if you're like trying to seem a certain way, or if you're lying, or if they're lying. They saw you as somebody that is growing in some way. They may have also noticed your curls if you have curly hair. They may have also thought you're very photogenic, or assumed that you are based off the way you look. Maybe wondering like what your social media is, wanting to check you up on there. They also assume that you're possibly religious. They assume that you are family oriented and either want children or already have children, or maybe they saw you with your children. I'm also seeing somebody that makes their promises and keeps the promises they make. They thought that you're somebody that kind of wants to travel a lot, or does travel a lot. And they may have assumed that you may have gotten yourself into trouble before with the law. I'm not sure why I'm seeing that, but I am. I've never seen that in a reading before. Well, like, I'm seeing somebody be handcuffed. So if it's not that, then I guess it could be like kinkiness. We have the Wheel of Fortune. You triggered them a little bit. I'm not sure if this trigger is good or bad. It's bad. Spirit is telling me it's bad. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Pentacles, and the World. I'm trying to like figure out what this trigger was. It was insecurities, because I feel it in my solar plexus. This person felt insecure around you. If they are the same sex, it's something about your charisma and the way you're able to attract a man or woman your way. Maybe they kind of just saw you as somebody that has no problem in that area. They also saw you as somebody that's possibly indecisive, someone that's a hard worker, very lucky, and they assume that you have achieved a lot because you seem hardworking. They also assumed that you kind of come across as this cheerful, happy-go-lucky person, but still realistic in some way. They also saw you as somebody that may stress out a lot, get very restless very easily, struggles to like relax or sit in one place. They may have also seen you in their first impression as somebody that may get bored easily and may ruminate or overthink a lot. They saw you as someone that they wanted in their circle and that they wanted to put effort into, and they were hoping something could change in your connection, like that you guys could grow closer together and put in mutual effort. I'm hearing the word sly. I'm hearing I'm in danger. I don't know why. Like, maybe they either thought that you're dangerous, like, to fall in love with, that you're hot in some way, if it was like a sexual attraction thing, or it's like, it's dangerous talking to you because maybe I'm like afraid the other person finds out and is mad at me. Maybe there was like some kind of fear of you hurting them or breaking their heart if it's like romantic. I'm also seeing a fortune's cookie in my mind's eye, which goes again back to like luck, fate, destiny. Maybe they thought that you're somebody that believes in that. Even with the Wheel of Fortune here, maybe they felt like they were meant to meet you in some way. They could have possibly like read some kind of horoscope or something before they met you, and maybe it was accurate and like things turned out to be true from that horoscope or something. They also saw you as somebody that's articulate, mentally sharp. They saw you as somebody that thinks clearly, speaks with precision, sets strong boundaries, and is not easily swayed by emotions. You're able to deal with your own emotions but not be swayed by it. And even when it comes to your work, it's like you don't allow your emotions to affect what you need to do. They took you seriously from the beginning, and I think that maybe they didn't have respect for you like in the first meeting because of what the other person said, but as they got to know you, they gained respect for you. Like even in the first meeting, like after you guys like first spoke and got to know each other, that first meeting, they started to gain more respect for you. They felt as though you're peaceful, mature, and not into drama. Like I said before, that you avoid unnecessary conflict, that you pick your battles wisely, that you're easy to get along with and not chaotic or confrontational. You kind of gave them a calm presence. They felt as though you're clear-minded, truthful, but they kind of like wondered how truthful you are. They may have even seen you as somebody that is guarded, carefully selective about what you show, that you don't open up immediately, that you keep your cards close, that you observe before deciding, and that you kind of stay neutral before you know somebody. They thought that the meeting was kind of unexpected, and it brought some kind of shift their way. They maybe thought of you as somebody that has a big energy or impact, brings change, or is accepting of change, and aligned with timing, fate, things just happen around you. They saw you as dedicated, skilled, that you're talented in some way at something. They didn't know what, but they thought you seem like somebody that has some kind of talent or some kind of big potential to make your dreams come true. They saw you as somebody that puts genuine effort into whatever you do, doesn't half-ass things, that you're committed to self-improvement, that you have real work ethic, and that you pay attention to detail. They admired your consistency and discipline. And overall, they saw you as somebody that's complete, well-rounded, mature, accomplished, whole within yourself, somebody that's learned a lot within life, is grounded and stable, and a complete package. You kind of gave them the vibe of somebody that went through things, went through experiences, integrated it, and came out stronger than before. I also see this energy of like not letting people walk all over you, not coming across as a pushover in any way. I'm seeing like they thought you had a spicy kind of personality to you, a spicy side to you. If this is romantic, they may have seen you as hot, or they may have just appreciated your physical appearance if it's not romantic or in any way like that. Tower reverse. The Hermit reverse. I see them kind of like being paranoid that the other person would find out. I keep seeing that in my mind's eye. So we have the Tower reverse, the Hermit reverse, and the Six of Wands upright. So I'm seeing this energy of like you sit with them somewhere and they keep looking around to make sure that person isn't there, because they don't want that person to feel betrayed by them like talking to you. They assume that you'd be good at cooking, that you're creative in some way. I'm seeing somebody that dances or is good at dancing. They assume that you're somebody that doesn't like complaining, doesn't like, mindlessly doing things that are not important to you, and doesn't want negative people around you. They assumed and saw you as somebody that kind of is a problem solver, wants to look at things in more of this way of like, I can fix this instead of my life is over because of this problem. Even if minor inconveniences annoy you, you always try to look at it in that perspective. They may have saw you as somebody that is afraid to feel your own feelings, even though you have an emotional side. and maybe even scared to open up. They may have seen you as somebody that is open with your sexuality, not afraid or shy of it. And you kind of came across as somebody that's blunt, says things as they are. You came across as somebody that's free, but can be a little bit rigid in your expectations. Six of Wands is the energy of somebody that's successful, so maybe they assume that you are successful in some way, shape, or form, or like I said earlier, that you've accomplished a lot for yourself. They saw you as somebody that can be fun, but also responsible. There's strong Virgo, Mars energy here, Aries, Scorpio, as well as fixed sign energy, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. They saw you as somebody that has high expectations on yourself and others, somebody that is introspective, but also willing to understand other people. They may have seen you as introverted or somebody that self-isolates a lot. And they may have also seen you as somebody that doesn't like chaos. You like things to be in its place in terms of an environment or in terms of relationships. Like maybe you don't like chaos, you don't like drama, like I said before. But also there's this energy of like everything, like all the expectations need to be set beforehand so that nobody gets hurt, so that nobody gets confused. They may have also assumed that you're always like trying to overgive in a way where maybe you're not trying to do it, but they assume that you're like always overgiving and sometimes like neglecting your own needs or not realizing your own needs. They were kind of like hoping to see you expose more about yourself or more truths about yourself so that they could understand you better and understand whether their perception of you was correct or not. And I see them like wanting to figure out whether what this person said was true or not. So that's why. I also hear determination, so they may have seen you that way. They may have seen you as somebody that smells really good. And they may have thought that they really like you based off the first meeting. I see them like smiling when they think about it after they leave. And I see them kind of being excited to get to know you more, possibly. But they hope that that doesn't lead to chaos or drama if they had to get to know you. Or just something bad happening, I guess. But they felt like they wanted to follow their own heart and their own inner guidance. They didn't want anybody else to tell them what they can or can't do or who they can or can't be friends with or around. So now I'm going to remove these cards and pull some zodiacs and initials. I'm hoping to get yours or theirs. I see them confronting the person after and asking them about the situation. They kind of thought that you're a complex person. So if you like this reading so far, I do have a membership where I post a weekly video on there if you want to check it out. And let me know how this has resonated for you so far in the comments below. I'm hearing matchmaker as well. We have Capricorn, Leo, Aries. I'm also hearing you're bold in some way. Taurus, Gemini. I'm seeing the signing of a contract, Virgo. I'm not sure what that's about. A, E, R, Q, I, W, S, N, A, and F. They also wondered, like, if anybody close to you got into trouble for something, like, would you snitch on them? A, F, and why. So that is what I have for you. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 3, you chose the Tiger's Eye Crystal and the Six of Swords. We're going to be taking a look at what was their first impression of you for the person on your mind. And this can be any person at all, so you can keep them in mind while I shuffle your cards. So spirit guides of pile 3, please tap me into the energy of the person on pile 3's mind. Please show me what was their first impression of pile 3. What was their first impression of pile 3? There was like a little bit of awkwardness between the two of you in the first meeting, and it's not necessarily your fault. I feel like this person is very shy and awkward when it comes to meeting people at first, and there's almost like this energy of like, oh, I don't know whether to hug you or to shake your hand. Oh, I don't know like what to start the conversation with. Like, I feel awkward. I feel self-conscious. Are they noticing anything bad about me? That was kind of their thought process. So 2 of Pentacles reverse, 8 of Wands reverse, and Strength reverse. Like, at first there was like not a mismatch in energy, but you know, like when the moment is a little bit awkward and it's kind of like it becomes awkward for both people, and then both people are kind of like not in sync, not in flow together. But then maybe as they talk more, they get more in sync and more in flow with each other. Does that make sense? I'm also seeing that they kind of saw you as somebody that would possibly change their life with the Six of Swords. They saw you as somebody that was maybe a little bit imbalanced or chaotic, but in a fun way. They also saw you as somebody that likes to slow down and experience things and kind of like romanticize each moment because life is fleeting. They saw you as somebody that is adventurous, full of gratitude for the life you have and for where you're at the moment. And they may have seen you as very like open, like an open book. They may have seen you as somebody that's honest, somebody that can be vulnerable and is connected to their heart. But they may have also seen you as somebody that wants to be more grounded, wants to kind of like get their life together, but sometimes struggles with that. Now, I do see this energy of them almost seeing you as somebody that is wanting to change, wanting to grow, wanting to transform in your own life. They wondered what was your story. They were very curious as to like your life experiences. Maybe wanting to ask that, but not wanting to pry. I'm hearing the word jealousy. So they may have felt a little bit jealous of you at first. But I do pick up that they liked you a lot and that they didn't want to like let that interfere with how they feel about you. We also have the 7 of Swords reverse, the Moon reverse, the Messenger of Earth, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and the 6 of Pentacles. So I think they were a little bit suspicious of your intentions at first, wondering if you're honest, if they can trust you. Even though you seem kind of honest and vulnerable, they wondered if they can trust you. I see them like wanting to overshare but feeling cringe after. I don't know if they actually overshared with you or not, or wanted to. There's also something about them kind of seeing you as somebody that doesn't seem so private. Like, you seem very open about yourself, about your life. You're not necessarily that type of person, according to them, that will hide parts of yourself or will be private in like a first meeting about information about yourself. It kind of just seems like when you're telling stories, you're like adding a lot of extra details into it, and you just don't seem to be hiding who you are. You seem very authentic, but they were kind of like conflicted on whether to believe that or not. Like, suspicious of it with the Seven of Swords reverse. Wondering, like, why are you so open with me? Like, are you just trying to get me to like you? Are you usually like this? It's kind of like they were suspicious. But it's coming from wanting to protect themselves, so don't take it personal. I see them assuming that you're a generous person, that you're very charitable, and that you like to help others, that you maybe have an innocence to your personality, a kind of youthfulness to your personality too. They may have also seen you as somebody that's consistent with your efforts and behaviors, so you're not seeming like the type of person that will just put in effort one day and not put in effort the next. With the Knight of Pentacles next to the Six of Pentacles, they may have also assumed that within like your work, you're consistent, you're dedicated to what you do. And even if there are moments where you don't show up, you make up for it. They also assume that you work hard in a way where you're sometimes tired or drained because of the amount of effort you put in. Like you give your all to relationships, but also your work. They may have seen you as somebody with hidden depths that they wanted to see more into. I just saw the angel number 555, so that confirms what I said about change and them wanting to change your connection into something more, like become closer to you in some way. I see them like feeling like they have to leave in the moment, not because they don't want to be around you, but because they have to be somewhere or have something coming up, but they don't want you to like think they don't like you or that they don't want to spend time with you. So it's kind of like this awkward feeling of I have to tell them I have to leave now, but I don't want them to take it personal or think that I don't like them. Because I do like want to make plans soon or see them in the future again. So that's what they were thinking. They were also thinking that you don't seem to have like a big ego. You seem very down to earth and humble. You also seem to live in like fantasy land, like your own world. You probably seem like you miss somebody. I don't know who that is. You also seem like somebody that can be quite emotional, intense with your emotions. They also saw you as somebody that isn't secretive or hiding anything, or that you wouldn't lie. Even though they were a little bit suspicious, they kind of got that impression from you. They also saw you as somebody that's self-aware, aware of your own strengths and weaknesses, and that you also take it slow in relationships, but you're still kind of like an open book, but you still don't rush relationships either, or rush to emotional intimacy. You just seem like you care a lot about little things and you care about making a good impression. They could tell that you try hard, but not in a bad way. It's almost like this energy of like, oh, thank God, like I didn't meet another nonchalant person. I don't think this person likes people that don't try or people that don't put in effort. So we have the Two of Wands, the World, the Five of Swords reverse, and the Two of Swords reverse. They may have seen you as somebody that was independent, somebody that doesn't seem like you would lie, go behind their back, betray them. You seem kind of trustworthy based off what they've seen, even though they were kind of suspicious. They wanted to like first see more of you to like make up their mind that they can trust you. But from what they've seen, they think they can trust you in the first meeting. But there's a little bit of uncertainty there. I see with the Two of Swords reverse that they may have thought that you were kind of like indecisive, that you like want other people to make decisions for you, but they may have also felt indecisive about whether they should trust you or not, or get to know you more first. They may have also thought that you're kind when people are kind to you, but that you can show more of like another side of you if somebody F's with you or messes with you. They saw you as somebody that has big dreams, big plans for the future of what you want to achieve. You're kind of like imprint or mark you want to leave in the world, like bettering people, helping people. We also have the Tower reverse and the Wheel of Fortune. They were kind of mesmerized by you. They thought that you smell good, but your perfume scent isn't too strong. It's like light and airy. They also thought that you seem to have like pent up emotions. That you may also seem like a foodie. They thought that you're learning to be more selfish and unapologetic with it because you're always so generous, but sometimes you also need time to like focus on your own things too. They see you as somebody that has possibly gone through a lot mentally or emotionally, and that you left a difficult chapter behind, that you're transitioning into something better or somewhere better, that you're stronger for what you went through, and that you don't stay stuck in chaos, even though your personality seems chaotic in a fun way. They think that you've had to juggle too much in the past and that you maybe had to grow up too fast. You try to simplify, prioritize things so that life is not too complicated. And you don't like to be like overwhelmed by things. You want to focus on what truly matters and not waste energy or time. They may have even seen you as somebody that moves slowly and deliberately, not rushing into things, but also not wasting time either, because time is valuable. They see you as somebody that's cautious, patient, can think before you act, but also needs time to process things in a grounded, more mature way. They may have even seen that you've been tired, that you've been carrying a lot or too much, that sometimes your confidence dips and that you push through anyway. They don't see you as someone weak, but they saw you as real. They saw you as transparent, a little bit of a threat to be honest, but honest and straightforward, thinking that you don't play games, lie, or hide who you are, that you admit when something is wrong. They saw you as somebody that faced your fears and sees through illusions, that you're clear about what you want, not easily deceived, and that you don't come across as somebody that's like naive. They saw you as somebody that's steady, dependable, and reliable. They felt like they could rely on you and you would show up for them and keep your word, that you have some kind of like a long-term focus. They saw you as kind, fair, and that you don't take advantage of people, that you have a balanced heart, and that you treat everybody with respect. They felt like your presence in their life would be significant. They felt like they met you at the right time. And there was something like impactful about your presence, also memorable about your presence. They think that you've rebuilt yourself in a way. Like you survived through the chaos and you're now rebuilding, you're healing, and that you found wisdom from past experiences. They may also see you as somebody that wants more for yourself. You're focusing on your future, ready for new chapters, ready for change to happen, and also flexible to changes. They may have seen you as complete, not necessarily needing anything to feel happy, like anything outside of you. They may have seen you as somebody that is leveling up and has reached like a lot of personal milestones. They admire you a lot, and they may have even seen you as a little bit talkative. Somebody that walks away from like ego battles and toxic behavior. Somebody that wants peace and isn't like petty or fighting for the sake of fighting. You seek resolution, not conflict, and that you've grown past petty behaviors. They may have even seen you as somebody that makes decisions even when they're hard, even when you're indecisive, but you kind of just don't want to choose something that's going to keep you in your comfort zone. You want to get outside your comfort zone, but sometimes you're scared too. They kind of think of you in a very light-hearted way and like you after their first impression of you. So that is what I have for this section of the reading. Let's now get the initials and zodiacs. I'm hoping to get yours or theirs. I'm also seeing dips in your energy, like maybe one moment you're like very energetic, the next moment tired. I'm getting this warrioress energy. Okay, so if you like this reading so far and you want to see more exclusive content of mine, I do have a membership where I post weekly on there. And also let me know how this has resonated for you so far in the comments below. So I'm seeing this energy of like you're over and past these struggles. Like you're no longer putting yourself in situations like that. Not that the struggles previously were caused by you, but you no longer want to be in struggles. So we have Pisces, Virgo, Aries, Gemini. They also think that you're able to confront situations head on. Aquarius and Sagittarius. I notice differences in our personalities. So Aquarius, Sagittarius, we have I-O-A-M. For some reason, I'm hearing best of both worlds from Hannah Montana. V-B. Maybe they thought you have the best of both worlds. I'm not sure what that means though. VBT. You also come across as somebody that like is professional in your work. X I H. And I'm also hearing independent. K E P Q Z and A. And I'm hearing you could never annoy me. Okay, so that is all I have for you. I really hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and being here, and I can't wait to see you next time.